Hello and welcome back to Music Nuggets. Today's nugget is an unusual one, a bite-sized one, and you'll see that there's nothing on the board because basically I want to talk about this strange beast. So this started off as a 2002 custom shop Stratocaster, which always felt really good to me to play, but I was never really inspired by the sound of it. It was kind of far too spanky, even for a Strat, than I tend to like. Originally it had this scratch plate and electronics in it. So this is Fender noiseless pickups, and the only sort of strange thing about it is this Gilmour switch. So the Gilmour switch engages the neck pickup no matter what 5-way position you're set to. So it allows you to get, when you're on the bridge pickup, you can get those two together. And when you're on this in between, you've obviously got all three at once. So what I did was tried to sell this initially, and nobody was taking a bite, and it was a really good price, especially for a custom shop Strat, one which is built really nicely. And so I decided to take the electronics out of this because these were getting really worn away on this one. This used to just be standard American pickups. And they were almost done, so I thought if I take that off of this, put it on there, I've got my perfect vintage Strat, and I can focus on doing something to this, something that will inspire me to play it more, and get some more use out of it. So I got it refretted first of all. It had thin wire frets on it. I think that was contributing a lot to the spankiness. So these are kind of medium jumbo frets, done by a local guy called Stephen Stobbs. You can find him on Facebook, he's really good, he's done a great job of this. And I bought a loaded scratch plate. So you'll see these for sale on like music gear buy sell pages and things like that, which is where I got mine, and it was just loaded with these pickups, but it was a black scratch plate, 3-ply, so it had this sort of stripe around the side of it. And it had a master volume knob with push-pull, a 3-way switch, and this 3-way switch here, this little 3-way toggle switch, it had no tone control. And it didn't have any of this stuff. I'll explain what that is in a minute. So basically the 3-way switch, master pickup switch, allowed you to get the two outside ones together, the neck on its own or the bridge on its own. And the push-pull, the way it was set, allowed you to engage the middle pickup no matter what selection you had going. And that was all really nice. It was a really nice combination of tones, but I mostly use the middle pickup. I'm used to finding my tone with amps with the middle pickup and stuff like that. So I decided, right, I need a 5-way switch. What else, if I'm rewiring this, what else can I do that's bonkers? And I should say that I didn't rewire this myself. My good friend Chris Flynn did it for me after I sort of said, right, I'd like it to do that, I'd like it to do this. We spent a day where I sort of cut this cheap Chinese scratch plate up to accommodate these switches and so on. So what's going on? What's going on is that you've got standard 5-way switching. First of all, I'll just put it on single coil. So this switch here will do all the pickups on one side of the rail. So that would give you rails for each of them. This is a P-rails, Seymour Duncan P-rails. So it's a P90 type pickup with a rail on the side of it, and you can have them together or separate. So at the moment, if I've got it flicked towards me, this little switch, then that's all this side of the rails. If I've got it in the middle, then each pickup is humbucking. And then if I've got it down the bottom, then it's this side of the rails or the P90, depending on what configuration you've got. So I'll do it just on standard single coil for each of them, so it's just one rail for each of them. So you've got your bridge, it's just standard Strat sounds, although they're ceramic rail pickups, so there's a kind of a grittier, edgier bite to them and not so much open body. This is all part of the experiment too. I'm figuring out what all these things do. So yeah, this is the bridge single coil. And then you can have your in-between as you normally would, so your sort of not floor settings. That's kind of tighter and spankier, I guess. Then you can have your middle on the own. which is what I'm used to mostly. And you can have the in-between with these two. So and then you can have the bridge on its own. And that's all. When you've got things together, they're in phase, and what these switches do is it's phase for each pickup. So what you're effectively doing is reversing the polarity of one of the pickups, so that tonally they subtract from each other. Normally they're adding. When you wire something out of phase or switch something out of phase, then you're subtracting, so you get thinner, kind of wirier tones that will maybe cut through better in a mix. They can kind of sound like a half-cocked wah as well. And you notice how that doesn't drive the amp that I'm using nearly as much, because again it's subtractive, it's taking away some volume. So that was in between these two. This is normal, and this is out of phase when I change one of those. It's a really kind of quacky sound, I really like it. Yeah. And the same with in between these. So in phase, and if you change the phase of either of them, which again is really cool. And then you can have those humbucking too. So this is each pickup humbucking. You've got the bridge. You notice how there's a lot more gain because there's higher output. In between, so that's those two, and then you can change the phase on one of them. Which is really interesting again. I'll just skip to the in-between because it's bite-sized this. And then you can have these two together in phase and out of phase. And then previously the switch that engaged the middle pickup, no matter where you were, that will now engage the neck pickup. So it's a Gilmour switch, like on my other Stratocaster, but it's on the coil tap here. So if I've got it set to bridge only, then I've actually got bridge and neck together. So in phase and out of phase, so I change one of those. Which is really cool. And if I've got it on the in-between setting with the Gilmour switch engaged, then I've got all three at once, and you've got all sorts of tonal options with in phase and out phase. So all three in phase, and then if I change even one of them, and of course these can be single or humbucking as well. So that's your single coil, again really good for that really honky kind of half-cocked wah kind of sound. The one thing I'm going to change is that's now in the way of the whammy bar when it's pulled up, so I've got issues there. There's always something when you modify something. So I'll probably make it a push-pull tone, or I'll just swap the knobs around. But that's all we've got time for really. There's a few other tones, but the main thing I was looking to do here was just show you that don't be afraid to explore and modify your guitars and make them what you want. Thanks very much for watching. See you next time.